And we are live. Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Auburn Live Recruiting Call-In Show. I am your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. If you're not a member of that site, it doesn't even cost anything. It's highway robbery. It's free for a week. I had to turn off my YouTube. I'm sorry. It was on the background. I was listening to myself cringing. But as I always am, I'm joined tonight by my two cohorts, Mr. Cole Pinkston, Mr. Jhead. You know him as Mr. Cole Pinkston. Cole Pinkston, how the hell are you, big dog?
I'm doing great. Fresh off a trip to good old Highland Home, Alabama today.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Highland
yes, sir.
Homie. All right. We'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Jhead, also known as Mr. Jhead, also known as Allen Head.
What is up, Jay Lee and Cole? How y'all fellas doing tonight, man?
I'm going to tell you, I am so much better now that we've got stuff to look at, talk about. Right?
Yes.
No conjecture. We're going to get to some phone calls. We're going to get to some comments, some questions. Before we do, real quick, if you're in the Auburn Opelika area looking for a home, wanting to sell your home, wanting to buy a home, residential, investment property, give Jessica Andrews a call, 334-704-4442. She's with eXp Realty. She is a 5-star, son. 5-star.
Quay Russo only dreams of
Oh,
it,
for
right?
sure. Right. Jessica Andrews, eXp Realty, 334-704-4442. Now, let's first and foremost, if you guys are just now joining us, Auburn did win a football game this past Saturday.
Yes.
Did so in a convincing fashion. I thought they did exactly what they should have. I think all of us had none of us were surprised by that. And as always with the call-in show, we're going to let you guys dictate the show and the topics, but we'll throw in our opinions on the matters for a second. However, stats, this is kind of team related is why I'm bringing this up. Stats don't matter. Who is a legacy poster on Auburn Live on 3 message board at the corner was he's got child duty tonight, which all of us can understand and empathize with. He's got 3 kids tonight, chasing them around, but he's going to get to us here in a little bit. But so when he gets ready to listen, he'll have an answer to his show. He says he can't call in tonight, got 3 little ones running everywhere. So I would like you to discuss what you think of the quarterback situation. Jhead, this is you jumped in there. Afterwards, people kept saying you have to run 2 different O's for TJ and Robbie. I don't necessarily see that. I think Robbie can run. The regular O plus add some zone read concepts into the O. What do you think? And Jhead?
Okay. So I want Cole to dive in on this too as well. But before we even get started on this, let's do some dirty work here. Everybody smash that like button if you're watching the stream. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that guys like Zach McKinnell that do all of this hard work are rewarded for that. It's fantastic for us, but even better for a guy like him that puts all this together. So please, like I said, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Now, into the question. No, I don't think you have to run 2 different offenses. Do I think it accentuates different facets of the offense? 100%, because you're going to play to that player's strength, right? What I saw more than anything is that Robbie Ashford is a playmaker, okay? I think you have to put him into the ball game. I do think that before TJ made some mistakes, and the first one was a blatant – the interception was a blatant mistake on his part. I mean, he tried to thread it into double coverage and just didn't see the underneath safety. The second one was a mechanical issue where he didn't see the backside corner drop in and he didn't put enough loft under it. Take those 2 turnovers away, which are correctable, and the offense was successful under TJ as well. But you understand why Brian Harsin, for a team that needs playmakers, injected Ashford into the offense. It brought a dynamic playmaker into the game. I think it freed some things up for Tank and Jarquez so that you couldn't necessarily key on them as far as that was concerned. And it was surprising to me the downfield accuracy that he possessed within that, that 150-yard shot that he hit. Obviously, the other one that he tried to get downfield drew a pass interference, but it really wasn't a well-thrown ball. But really liked what I saw from both guys. I thought that the offense was a little bit more open to TJ, that the concepts were a little bit different. You saw more guys in pattern than you saw when Robbie was in the game. But I think it's a progression thing with him, Cole. And I want to hear your thoughts on what it's like for a guy that's never even played in a football game at the college level before. This was his first exposure, period. So I thought it was a great opening performance for him, a great way for Harsin to kind of incorporate him into the offense. You'll see more of that against San Jose State. I feel certain of that. And then we'll kind of see how it goes with, does he make a decision to go with one or the other? Does he continue to play a 2-quarterback system? I think that's the really interesting part. But what you can't probably deny is that Robbie Ashford is a playmaker. No doubt. What do you need to put in on on offense? You need to have playmakers.
Yeah. Well, Jhead, I mean, I'm pretty much with you on everything, man. Number one, I knew he was fast. Okay.
Whew.
I didn't know he was that fast.
Me neither, big dog.
He was fast, guys. I mean, not just one of the things I liked, and I kept watching that play where it's the first, they were backed up like inside the 10 and ran the inside zone read with the lead blocker. There was a little crease, okay, for him to hit it. The play is really designed to go around that lead blocker, but the space was kind of, brought in. He hit that hole like a running back, man. I mean, he's got some running ability. I remember, I'm not going to go there, Jeffrey. I was going to say something about Kyle Frazier being hesitant. We thought he was going to be that guy. He was hesitant every time he tried to hit a hole. Robbie Ashford's not that guy. He's got confidence hitting the hole like a running back. So there, you got to have that in the offense, I think. I don't think that's going anywhere after you've seen it successfully work. As far as the question, do you have to change anything? Do you have to, if he were the guy, do you change anything? No. I think he's had one shot at a deep ball and he hit it. And it was really a little bit tight. I mean, the coverage was not – he had a step, but it was pretty tight. It had to be a good ball, and it was. We've seen TJ Finley throw a lot of deep balls that didn't work. Now, he did better in this first game.
Yep.
But Robbie Ashford has one shot, and he made it work. So that's what's got everybody excited. It's not just that he's fast. It's that everybody was like, whoa, he hit a deep ball. Okay. Let's take a step back here.
Yeah, and even more than just the deep ball, he created 2 different explosive plays, one with his legs, one with his arm. And what did we talk about, Cole? I mean, I think me and you hit it all offseason. It's the lack of explosive plays in the offense this year.
Huge.
Everything was grinded out. You know what I mean? 5 yards here, 4 yards here, 3 yards here, 15 yards down the field. You know what I mean? Like in the games we hit big plays, like against Arkansas, against Ole Miss, we looked fantastic. In the games that we didn't, which were pretty much every other game outside of South Carolina, it didn't go well for us. So having somebody who create those explosive plays is huge. And I think it's why you're not going to see Robbie. You're going to see a continued presence by him regardless of what happens moving forward. I think you're going to see some Robbie Ashford every game.
Yeah, you have to after that. I don't see a way you don't.
They combined to complete 13 of 21 for 212. 1 touchdown, the 2 interceptions, which that cannot happen. That was my problem with TJ. Do not turn. That was, when Keith joined us, my thing was, you can't turn. You don't have to win it, man. You just can't lose it. And against SEC teams, that's going to be a big problem. That's a big issue. But they completed 2 out of every 3 passes, 212 yards. They rushed combined. Obviously, this is 73 of the 74 yards was Robbie Ashford, but you're getting close to 300 total yards out of your quarterbacks and a touchdown. We got to eliminate the interceptions. I'm going to have to watch the game again before Friday when we go a little bit deeper into it, because I tell you what, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Cole said, "Hey man, you expect?" I was like, "No, dude, it's going to be a mild day. Not many recruits are going to be on hand. It'll be pretty cut and dry, pretty easy." And what happens? 4-star defensive lineman Darren Reed shows up. 4-star linebacker Jaden Osbury shows up. And then here come the 5-stars. Quay Russo comes in. James Smith comes in. And by the time the first quarter's over with, you're going, is this Mercer or is this the Penn State game? No, there weren't a lot of kids there, which will happen at Penn State. There weren't a lot of 4-star kids there. But the top of that visitor list at the end of the game was as impressive. I think Keith even compared it to an Iron Bowl like atmosphere. I mean, as far as those top 4. So really impressed with getting those guys to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely Keith talked about it on his little show today for the was it 4 down?
Yep.
4 down territory, I think. 4th down territory.
And we'll continue to talk about that throughout the week. And of course, San Jose State's coming to town this weekend. We know of 2 official visitors, Jamarian Harkless and Adam Hopkins.
Yes.
Both coming in for official visits. There's going to be a lot more. And hey, don't let me forget these 2024 studs that were here. Jeremiah Beeman, one of them. He is a stud.
Big time stud.
I want to tell you what, man. I met Alandy Brown. Y'all don't know that, but that's my boy.
Okay.
That's Camden Brown's dad.
Oh, okay.
He was awesome, man. That's my dude.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I met him during the rain delay. I think he's a fan of the show.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, he's awesome. He had his CB shirt on, like a WB, I don't know, or something like that. Remember that?
Yeah.
I said I got to have one of that. So, Landy, if you're listening, man, tell me where to send the check to because I want one of those shirts. Here comes Zach from the back to the front. What you got, Zach?
2 callers here.
All right.
Yeah.
706. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Oh, he's got the delay.
706. You're live.
Feels like he's got one of the screen voice monitors.
Yeah. All right, he hung up.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
Do
we have anybody on deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
256. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
We got some prank callers.
I guess so, man.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
There he is.
here we go.
Who you on the horn with?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
We got.
What is your name and where are you from? We can't see sign language.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. I think we're
Have that
getting
one. Yeah, have that one call back, Zach.
getting 2 blocked by the delay there.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm
There you
going to restart the call line real quick, man. I'll pull up some questions for y'all, and then we can
Okay.
get to the call.
All right, that'll work.
Tyler, Miss Justice is coming in hot tonight.
Of course he did.
Yeah, she don't assume it's gender. Her gender, excuse me. Obviously, Robbie has the advantage with the ability to run. Okay. Do you guys think that his arm talent is close enough to TJ's to give him the nod to start? Now, listen, as far as I'm concerned, y'all know more about the team than I do, but arm talent is not going to define starter.
No, I think if that were the case, Zach Calzada might be the guy. So it's not about that. It's about who handles the offense the best. And with Robbie showing he can do that, yeah, he's going to have a shot, man. That's my opinion. I think he's going to have a shot, maybe even more snaps this week while the game is still in hand. I would not be surprised by that at all.
We don't have enough data yet, I don't think. But at some point during the season, you're going to have to ask yourself which one of these guys gives us a better chance to win.
Yes.
That's what the starter is going to determine who starts. And I think right now, the coaches believe, obviously, that TJ Finley is that guy. I'm with Cole. I think you're going to give Robbie more and more and more. So by midseason, he's at least on the same level when it comes to the offense as TJ. But, man, I'm like Jhead. It's tough to keep him off the field. I understand the 2-quarterback system now. I mean, because it worked, I'm for it. I thought it worked.
No, it definitely worked in that game. Now we'll see if it continues to work.
Right.
Obviously you're going to, ride the horse till it bucks you, right? But
That's right.
I want to give some credit to people that had let me know, before this game we were going to play 2 quarterbacks. That's exactly exactly what we did.
Second drive.
He was in there. And they had said it was going to be early. I didn't buy it. I thought that, okay, we'll see Robbie's second half. No,
it was the first drive, was it not?
it was the first
Second
drive, second series.
There you go. That's it.
Yep, first drive. Both
So they
both
picked
of
up a
them
first down. It was a controversial first down. I don't know that Javaris Johnson picked that first, and I've only just watched it because that's why it's fresh on my mind. But they did a jet sweep to Javaris Johnson on 3rd and 2.
Yeah,
and I didn't think he got it, but they gave it to him. And then Robbie came in and ran read option.
Read option to the left-hand side.
Yep.
JP wants to know about Reuben Bain, and there's nothing on the books right now, JP, about Reuben Bain visiting, but he's going to. I mean, he said, I don't know when, but I'm coming. So I don't know if he'll be here next weekend, excuse me, for Penn State, but I do know he is expected to visit. I still think there's Auburn's probably on the outside looking in for him. And when I say that, I mean like numbers 4 or 5 in his top 5. They're in his top 5, but probably 4 or 5. So, but Auburn certainly prioritized him. Cleveland Brown wants to know, TJ looked good till he didn't. Well, that's true. But having him and Ashford at quarterback is a good problem to have with how the good throws looked. What'd you think about that, Cole?
Yeah. No, I mean, TJ looked improved at times. 100%. Don't get us wrong here, because the problem with his performance overall were the 2 picks, and that's the only real problem. I mean, those were really bad, guys.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were so bad, it was not the athleticism of Mercer that made those plays. It was bad reads or no reads at all, from what I can tell. So that is something that carries over from last year, and you go, oh, no, we can't do that. That is not going to work. That's why when Ashford completed that deep ball, you go, well, we've got something here. So, yeah, I mean, having both of them, it's a good competition, I think. I think it's a good competition. You have Finley, who understands the offense and runs it well, and then you have Ashford, who adds the speed element. So it's going to keep playing out, man.
Is that what you got?
I think we got it figured out. I called in the call line myself. I could hear you guys, so we know it's not on us.
Okay. I love it.
It's the delay.
706. You're live again. Who's calling in? Where are you calling from, man?
Hey, I could hear you guys, but I don't guess y'all could hear me. But this is Bryce from Beulah.
What's up, Bryce?
We got you now.
Yeah, man. I don't know what was going on. How's the show going so far?
It's better now that you're on.
Yeah.
Flattery ain't gonna get you nowhere with me, Jay Lee.
Got to shoot my shot, big
dog.
dog.
Y'all guys ain't quarterback play ain't come up yet, has it?
No.
We probably spent the first 30 minutes talking about it, brother.
Nobody gives a damn about the quarterback.
I ain't able to tune in, so I'm having to just call in. But I want to talk a little bit of quarterback. I want to talk a little bit recruiting. But I want to tell Jay Lee a quick story. He put up a thing on Twitter where in the stadium they played a little intro thing, and it was Will Herring. Did I see that right, Jay Lee?
Yes, sir.
All right, so when I was, I believe, a freshman at Beulah, Coach McCracken, Spence McCracken, him and Will came down and just to come to speak to us. I don't know if you knew, he left us and went to Hanley. His name was Ken Fordham. Did you know him, Jay Lee?
Coach Fordham, yeah, absolutely.
So he was
He was at Woodland at one time, too.
Coach. Yeah, and he left us my sophomore year to go to Hanley. I believe he played fullback at Jacksonville State. And you talking about a grown man, son. If he didn't hear them pads popping out there at practice, he'd jump in there and run tailback with no pads. And he was tough, man. He was a great coach. But anyways, just sitting down there, Will came down there and talked to us. And when, you're 14 years old, 155 pounds, and you see this guy that's in like the Super 7 or whatever in the new Auburn Up like the newspaper, man, Will was like a superhero, to me and the other guys and stuff in there. And to now see, he's still involved with the program. I mean, his speech before the Iron Bowl where he just went live in his car, man, it still gives me chills. So glad to see he's still part of the program.
Yeah, he did. He loves Auburn, man. I think he is a doctor, a chiropractor here in Auburn. But yeah, he's all about it, man. Those are the guys, man, that made Auburn great. You know, guys that came to Auburn because they loved Auburn.
Yeah.
And they hated Alabama. They hated Georgia. Ben Lear hates Georgia. They love Auburn.
But it's funny. It's funny. He's a chiropractor because he definitely rearranged some ribs back in the day.
Yeah, he is an awesome guy. I've met him a couple of times. I don't know him, and I'm sure he don't know me, but I'm a big fan of Will Herring.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was really cool. You posted that, so I got to kind of see that. I thought that was really cool. So as far as the recruiting thing, man, I just want to say I'm loving what you and Keith are doing. The 20 inside the 20, or man, I think that's great. It's all
cool.
condensed in. I'm one of these guys. I'll take as much content as you'll put out. So y'all are literally getting to something every single day, man, and I'm loving it. So I really appreciate that. But the thing that kind of popped up that I thought was pretty interesting, two things where Keith said that Darren Reed was there 5 hours before the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you do that if you're just taking a courtesy visit or you got nothing to do on a Saturday. I know Columbus is right down the road, but I think that's kind of telling, right?
Oh, absolutely. For Mercer game, LSU wasn't in town, right? Penn State wasn't in town. Georgia wasn't in town. Hell, Mississippi State wasn't out. We're talking about freaking Mercer. And not, hey, meet me out front after Tiger Walk. This was, I'm going to get there at noon because I want to be there. And I'm going to tell you, this kid is an awesome kid. I really like him. He's one of those, give me 85 of him. And Auburn really laid it out for him, and he's coming back. He told Keith, I'm coming back, multiple times. I really got a good vibe from him.
One of the brightest, most articulate recruits that I've heard. Love his mindset and demeanor, Jay Lee, and you're right. And I don't want to put words in the kid's mouth, but reading between the lines from what I understand and from what I've read, this is a kid that wanted a spot. LSU had a spot. Obviously, LSU's a fantastic program. At the time that he committed, look, you've got everybody and their mom telling him that this coaching staff is not going to be there next year. So why would you commit to Auburn at that point? But he's a kid that's very interested in the program. As Jay Lee's already alluded to, coming back for Penn State, potentially could come back for LSU.
Sure.
You get him on campus 2 more times. All right, now we're talking. Okay, and if the season is on track as we think it could be, if we're 4-0, 5-0 at that point, rolling into a bye week, look out.
Yeah, and let's don't forget about this. When he committed, he officially visited in June. He committed July 4th. Even after his official visit in June, he was being honest. You got to think now. Nick Easton left, and here comes Jimmy Brumbaugh. Auburn, and he said it. Auburn was kind of late getting in on me. I mean, the relationship with Jimmy Brumbaugh started in what, February or March?
End of February, beginning of March.
There you go. And so he doesn't really know this cat. And Brumbaugh's just been plugging away. I'm not giving up on this kid. And the relationships building and it's going, hey, I'll come up from Mercer. Let me come up and spend half the day with you before the game starts. I thought that was huge. I thought that was very telling as well about legitimate interest. And Bryce, to keep to roll on with that throughout the day was, Cole and I, we had heard, I don't know, it was maybe an hour before kickoff when we started hearing the Quayroos saw James Smith buzz that they were going to be there. And I think they were coming back from Troy. So they had been like at a baby shower, or I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
something like that.
Gathering of some sort.
And it was like, and I'm thinking, dude, all I want to do if I've been at something like that, I want to get my ass home and watch some football. And
right.
and it was no, we're gonna stop in Auburn and go to that game. And I said this yesterday on Inside the 20, Bryce, but during that rain delay was huge for Auburn recruiting because those recruits are sitting down here in this really nice new recruiting lounge. Brian Harsin comes down out of the locker room. Here comes Jimmy Brumbaugh. Here comes Rock Bellantoni. Here comes Zach Etheridge. Hell, here comes Brad Larondo. And they're all huddled around these two guys that are on the table, and they're sitting there, and they just spend 10 or 15 minutes there. And I thought it was also, talking to Quay afterwards, is they've got a weekly call, him and Brian Harsin. Every Monday, they spend time talking to each other. Huge.
That's the next thing I was going to kind of get on with the Quay. Now I'll just tell you, and I don't get any information. I rely on you guys and all that. So I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I think we all kind of get a feel that we've got a better shot with Quay than James Smith. He seems to be a little bit more outgoing and talking. But the thing with him, this is just my personal feel, is, like Uncle Keith has been saying for years, man, read the tea leaves, follow the visits. It just seems like this kid is just looking for us to just give him a reason, man. Just give me a reason to come to Auburn. And it's just what it just feels like to me is like, the opportunity's there. If we can be competent, and obviously if this coaching staff is still intact, in December, I think he's just looking for a reason. So I thought that was huge, like what you were saying. You remember a couple of years ago when we were building that kind of recruiting area, everybody was like, what are we doing wasting all this money on that? Well, now we got a nice, football-only facility. It's going to be state-of-the-art, and we do have this area for the recruits. So I think that's, the long play kind of paid off there. So
absolutely.
The last thing, and I'll let you – sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, the last thing I want to talk about is the quarterbacks. All right, so I've been following you guys, and you've been saying – obviously, there's been some limitations on Robbie because he can't go live in practice, right? They kind of knew what they had something, but they didn't want him to go live. And then when you saw him break, again, when I think it was VAR, I think he was almost forced to have to take that punt right there inside the 10. But then Robbie completely flips the field. And, I mean, he's half a step away from breaking that thing for 90. So, like, Cole, I knew you were putting in one of your pieces today. You're like, well, why would they show that speed option and all that? I think it's just like you were kind of alluding to. It's just planting the seed for Penn State to say, hey, man, they can line this kid up in the slot. They can line him up anywhere. I guarantee you we've got some sort of RPO or some sort of motion to bring him in to flip him in TJ spots. There's got to be a couple of different plays off of that. So I think I think your analysis was right on with that one, Cole. But I'll just say this. Watching the game, I had a bunch of people over here at my house, so I got 3 or 4 TVs going. We got all kinds of stuff going on. So the next day, and I know there's a cut-up on YouTube. It's about 18 minutes where they just condense everything. So it's nice to kind of go back and watch that. So I'm sitting there, and I'm showing my wife 28-0, minute 25. Defense has been playing lights out. They give the ball back, and it was just a bad pick, man. It was just ugly. It was just ugly. So then, we go down there. Then the defense is like, damn, minute 25, they're either going to run this out, punt. We ain't gonna have to worry about it. We're not getting back on the field. And then all of a sudden they have to jump back on the field. We give up a touchdown, come back after halftime, throws another bad one. I don't know, man. I ain't going to say that Robbie is Nick Marshall. I'm not going to do that. But I watched him play against Washington State in 2013, and I don't even think he threw for 100 yards. And we were all saying the same thing on different sites, like, oh, man, we're in some trouble. Why the hell did we just take this fool from Tulsa? We're in trouble. All I'm saying is when Robbie had the ball in his hand and he's back there, it's the first time I felt some juice, like some real juice since 2014. So I ain't saying he's Marshall, but I felt some juice, baby, and I'm ready to have a little bit more of that explosive potential. So I'll let you guys get to the show. Thanks for letting me have a little bit of time and keep up doing the good work, man. I appreciate
Bryce,
it.
we appreciate the hell out of you, big dog. We sure do. Appreciate you, man.
It was a great call.
All right, man, y'all take care.
All right, big dog. All right, Zach, what you got for us, big?
Oh, we got a bunch.
Let's roll them.
All right.
5230. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. How are y'all doing?
Good. How about you, buddy? Who we got?
Good, good. I am Eli Gravitt from Anniston, Alabama.
Eli,
Yeah. How are y'all doing?
how's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. One thing I wanted to touch on y'all with was the defense. I thought Cam Riley looked every part of it. Nothing but spectacular. What was y'all thoughts on him?
Cole, you're a big Cam Riley fan.
Yeah, I am. I don't think he's the guy that's going to just, I don't think he's really the thumper type. After seeing him play with all that extra weight, I thought he was going to be that guy, but now I'm thinking, man, he can get from sideline to sideline pretty well. I mean, he was all over the place. I think he's got pretty good speed at that size, and I think that's why he had 15 tackles, because he was just getting all over the field in a hurry, and that's his role, I think, and that's why he's playing, next to Papo. So I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah, cool. I thought the same thing. Like I said, the first thing that noticed to me was, he's not a hard hitter, but like you said, he reminds me kind of like Isaiah Simmons, sort of.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of early. But, another guy that stood out to me was Marcus Harris. It looks like he puts on a lot of weight, and it looks like he's running around pretty good.
Jhead, you're a big Marcus Harris man.
Definitely thought that Marcus he definitely penetrated on a couple different plays, held up very well against the run. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tell too much about what we did against Mercer with what he's capable of due to the size of the offensive line we played. I mean, I think he was going up against two guys that were 270, 280, not the caliber of athlete you're going to play in the SEC week in, week out, but definitely maintained his quickness, probably increased his strength some, was disruptive. And in your question with regard to Cam Riley, I thought what he did exceptionally well is his diagnosis of the play. I don't think he was that exceptional athlete on the field. That's really kind of what Owen is. He's just a fantastic athlete. I mean, there are very few guys that are as athletically gifted as him. But what Cam Riley did was pre-snap diagnosis and just was consistently in the right place at all times. So I'm with you. I really thought a lot of both those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another player that stuck out to me that I can ask about, I'm not saying he was like a liability, but, there's situations where he didn't look good, but Nehemiah Pritchett, what do you think the chances are Keontae Scott taking over that role in the next few weeks?
Cool.
I wouldn't forget about DJ James, because he was out there a good bit and played well, in my opinion. I think Jalen Simpson was pretty good in coverage. Yep. When you don't hear a corner's name a lot, that means they're doing their job. Okay, they don't have to be in on all the tackles. They gotta cover their guy or cover their zone, whatever the case may be. And I think Jalen Simpson did his job. I think Nehemiah Pritchett had some good plays, but definitely some glaring. He almost gave up a big play, ended up catching up to it because the ball was underthrown. I think he had one more too. I can't think exactly what it was right now, but yeah, I mean, I think everybody's job is in jeopardy every week. That's my read of this coaching staff, and I think if you're going out there and making plays like that and having some mistakes, you got a chance to lose the job. I really do. I think that goes for every position. So Nehemiah Pritchett you might see DJ James out there more in that spot. You might see Keontae Scott more because he played pretty well. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing I want to touch base on with y'all, how long do y'all think Horson's going to ride that 2 QB system? Because I know in 2019 he did it at Boise State, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the third string ended up winning the conference title.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do you do it until it doesn't work?
Yeah, till he bucks him. If you're going to be completely honest, you're not going to bite the hand that's feeding you right now. You're going to play it out until you get to the point that you find yourself compromised and you're having to make a decision. I think at this point they know what they've got in TJ. They've got somebody that's efficient, that can manage the game, that completely understands the system. And I think with Robbie, they're still getting a feel for what his top end potential is, and kind of breaking him in to the college game. I mean, you got to remember, this is not like Nick Marshall, where he had a lot of experience in junior college. This is a kid that has never taken a snap at the college level. He got his first 30 snaps the other night. So watching how he reacts and responds, and now the defenses know what he's capable of, how does he react to what they do? Does he become frustrated by that? Or is it a situation where he's able to adapt and overcome? So there's a lot there to go before making any kind of a decision.
Yep.
But that's going to be an ongoing evaluation. And as Jeffrey Lee said, until it blows up in your face, you're going to ride it.
Yeah.
Right. Last thing, I'm going to let you go. But you've watched week 1 so far. Penn State doesn't look anything spectacular. LSU didn't look the part. I like the chances of starting 5-0, especially being at home all 5 games. What do you think?
From what I saw Saturday, I'd be disappointed if Auburn's not 5-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think LSU's
We're
very
not
good.
going to talk about week 6 because I think Georgia looked just as good as last year, but
Yeah.
I think, yeah, they're insane.
Oregon flew 2,000
guys.
miles to come down and kick a field goal, man.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. It's kind of sucked to drive across the whole country to score 3 points, but you know,
Yeah,
that's what it is. But guys, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for the call, Eli.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Keep us rolling, Zach.
All right, guys, I just want to say call lines are blowing up. So y'all try to limit y'all's questions to like 2, maybe 3, because we got a bunch of people trying to call in.
Let's go with a 2-question limit.
Yeah. 2-question limit now, guys.
That's what I give to Jessica.
1370.
You got 2 questions.
Live.
Make them count,
And
baby.
then she gives you the once over.
Waiting for Jeffrey to calm down.
You're going to be waiting a long time, big dog.
Hey, man, it's Lord George from Nashville.
LG.
With a lot of 5th, 6th, and maybe 7th year seniors on the offensive line moving on after the season, obviously recruiting that position group is seen as one of the most important needs for the 23 class. And on Keith's 4-down territory, he said he guessed maybe take 4 incoming freshmen, some JUCOs, and portal guys. I guess my question is, who on the current roster may be a surprise to compete? I mean, hell, a week or 2 ago, most of us didn't know who Tate Johnson even was. Now he's a starting center in the SEC. So that's my question. Just who do we have, and what potential is there?
I'm thinking freshman and redshirt freshman LG. I'm thinking Kobe Smith. I'm thinking Eston Harris.
Yes.
The true freshman who signed this past season. You still got Garner Langlow down there somewhere.
Jeremiah Wright is the name.
Jeremiah Wright. Yes, I always forget about him. And hell, he's probably the best of the bunch, right?
That was the number one name that came to my mind. I mean, when I watched him in that one practice period where the offensive line went with the defensive line, he was dominant, guys. And he doesn't know exactly what he's doing yet. He's still learning everything. But as far as a physical standpoint, this guy, he could be a really good guard at Auburn.
Well, and I think he's even got the flexibility, Cole, to play right tackle. I think that if you had a guy like Keandre Jones return, who's at this point, he's behind Cam Stutz.
Yeah, he
Well,
is.
if you get Stutz and Keandre back at your 2 guard positions and you need a right tackle, well, if Jeremiah Wright doesn't beat one of those 2 guys out, well, maybe you have the flexibility of moving him outside. So I'm with you guys. I think all, including Colby Smith, all 5 of those all have an opportunity to compete to start next year with the additions of who we get from junior college in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not banking on any freshmen that we land in this class being able to contribute next year. If they do, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's a rare. I mean, there's probably 3, 4 guys in the country come in and start as a true freshman.
You almost don't want that to happen, right? That would almost be a bad sign.
It would.
Right. Yeah.
A tackle going against a college SEC, four-year SEC guy at edge.
Yeah.
Unless you're the kid from California that JB Grimes blew off, you know what I mean? That only went to start at Alabama for the next 3 years. You know what I mean? If we have luck into one of those. And JB, if you watched the show, I'm sorry, brother, but I had to, you know what I mean? You had to eat.
Was it Tyler?
Catalina?
Nah, God, man, who was the kid? His parents were like Auburn legacy, too.
Yeah.
On top of that.
We'll have to come back to that.
Yeah.
LG, you got anything else, big dog?
Oh, he jumped off the call line.
Hey, man. So far, MVC, most valuable caller.
Let's see, 4092. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's up, guys? It's Jedi from Mobile.
Jedi.
What's up,
Jedi Knight.
my man from down here in Mobile County. What's up, dude?
Hey, so earlier y'all mentioned the 21 pass attempts by Auburn this past Saturday. That was the fewest out of any SEC team this past week. Going into this San Jose State game, do y'all see us ramping up the emphasis on the passing game, try to get these guys in the flow?
I think they're going to take what the defense gives them. If I'm being completely honest, they're going to feel it out. The whole plan in any time, and I don't want to, steal this. I want Cole's input because he's got more experience this time. Jonah Williams. There you go.
Appreciate you, War Eagle Stables.
Yes.
There you go.
Is to put the defense in conflict. Okay. You want to be able to try to score, and you want to put the defense in conflict. And whatever San Jose State is trying to take away, my guess is we're going to move to the opposite and try to accentuate that. So if they're going to load the box and try to take the run away, we'll probably air it out some and try to loosen the box up. If they're going to play, two high safeties and dare us to run the football, which I seriously doubt, but if they go that route, then we're going to pound that rock right at them. So it's all contingent on what look we get from them as far as that's concerned.
Do you get to a 28, point lead and go, okay, we've got what we want. Now let's work on what we need to work on. Like we need to work on. I mean, do you get to that point? Like we need to throw some more intermediate routes. I want my quarterbacks more comfortable throwing those. Or I want, Robbie running this or.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to what Clemson did against Georgia Tech last night when they got up. They threw in their guy, Klubnik.
Yeah.
Somebody they're really excited about. The game was in hand, but they're throwing the football. They want to see how he operates things in that moment. And it's possible they do that again with Ashford, which is what they did, when they had a pretty good lead on Mercer. But one thing,
that game was never in doubt.
No.
And they're still throwing, yeah.
And one thing that I think about with San Jose State, you got to remember the Boise guys, Harsin, Schmedding, Keesaw, these guys, Bedell, they've seen this team before. They've faced them. They've had trouble with them. So they're gonna push the envelope a little bit, I think, because they take them pretty seriously. I don't think they would view them in the same light as maybe Mercer. I think they might see them as a step up from that.
Well, I believe Burt Watts came from San Jose State. Did he not?
Fresno.
Well, he came That's what I said.
Fresno State by way of Memphis. So he had to stop in between.
Yeah.
But what I would say to that, Cole, is I looked at San Jose State, and I actually don't think they've got the athletes on the back end that Mercer's got. I thought that on the perimeter, that Mercer had better athletes than what San Jose's got. Now in the trenches, they've got a couple really big Polynesian guys that, our interior offensive line is going to have to, man up against and try to move. So I think at the line of scrimmage, you're going to be looking at a different caliber of athlete. But on the perimeter, and look, our man in the background back there knows FCS better than anybody. Mercer's got some issues, and probably the best wide receiver we're going to see out of the first 3 games we play. I don't think Penn State's got a guy like Mercer's got. I honestly don't.
Is that right?
Todd James is a problem. He was an all-conference selection for our publication and is leading the FCS in receiving yards right now.
Is he the one who had the touchdown catch over Caden Bridges?
No, that's
a different guy.
Devron Harper.
Yeah.
Who is also pretty good.
And Harper was an all-conference return specialist in the SoCon.
I think he returned a kick for a touchdown in the opener this year.
Yeah, he did.
They got some athletes, and that Todd James guy had 192 yards in the opener against Morehead State.
3 touchdowns.
Really, it was those 3 touchdowns were like 50-plus yards. Guy transfer from Georgia, so they had some athletes.
He's a P5 guy that went down a level. He can play.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see Vegas come out with a 10-point difference between Mercer and San Jose State. Same stadium, basically the same time kickoff, and Auburn is only favored 22.5, I believe, Zach. Is that right?
Yeah.
22.5, where they were 31.5 against Mercer. So they're expecting a closer game with San Jose State, and
I think it has to do with the familiarity of the coaching staff. They're anticipating that San Jose is going to know.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You know what I mean? More or less what to do schematically versus what Harsin's going to present. That would be my guess. But if I'm looking at raw talent, like I said, just on the perimeter alone at the skill positions, I think Mercer's got better skill than San Jose. I honestly,
The line moved to 23. We're favored by 23 now.
What's the over under, Zach?
Let's see, 50.5.
50?
Wow. It's a little low.
So okay. So one thing on the defense, y'all know I had high expectations for this defense. Man, Derek Hall missed a couple of sacks. Like, he was there, dude. He was in the backfield all freaking day long. But the secondary, wasn't blown away.
A little suspect.
they got caught with their eyes in the backfield a good bit. You could tell the game plan was do not let these guys run the football on us. And the corners on a couple of occasions, Pritchett, Keontae Scott got caught like that, where they got compromised and they bit up on a play action and did not react as they should, which is stick with the man that's running downfield. They were already anticipating this is going to be a handoff. This is going to be, a QB run here. Yeah. So I think this week against San Jose State, they've got that on tape now. Jeff Schmedding, Zach Etheridge can get in their ass and say, look, guys, this is what you can't do. Because if you do this against Georgia, it's 6. Okay.
Yep, every time.
Yep. Every time. You have got to read your keys. You have got to stick to the play design. Do not deviate. Do not think you know what's best. Don't play instinctually. Do what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah. And just to give y'all some perspective on San Jose State, they played Portland State last week, which was another FCS program, and they only beat them by 4. It was 21-17, and Mercer's a top 25 FCS team. Portland State wasn't voted to finish top 7 in their conference.
And Keesaw's taking that personal because that's his alma mater, baby.
So, Zach, just going off of that paper, would you take head-to-head Mercer over San Jose State on the neutral site field?
Mercer would have a chance to beat San Jose State.
Okay.
And I think if San Jose State played like they did last week, there's a large majority of that top 25 that would probably beat them. And when you take the top end, like the North Dakota States, they probably beat San Jose State by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good to know. And Mercer's, are they in Atlanta, out of Atlanta?
Just outside. It's like Macon.
Okay.
Macon
Georgia. Around.
Yeah, Macon Whoopi. Greatest name ever.
And
oh, shit, dude, Jhead, I forgot you're on the phone.
I'm sorry, man. And we still got 2 callers.
Yeah. All right, Jhead, I hit us one more time, big dog.
Nah, I don't have another question, but I did just want to say last week I threw a hypothetical out there that maybe Robbie Ashford could have more rushing touchdowns than our
Jarquez.
Than Jarquez, and all he did was put 3 in the end zone. So good call on that with y'all.
But I mean that's not crazy.
No, not after what we just saw. I will give you that it is not out of the realm of possibility that Robbie Ashford's going to have double-digit touchdowns this season. Not out of the realm of possibility.
Good
stuff.
I
appreciate y'all. I'm going to hang up, listen to the rest of the show now.
Appreciate you, Jedi Knight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good call right there, Jedi. You got somebody lined up, Zach?
Got a bunch still. We just had like 4 more people call in.
All right, well, let's hit them. We'll try to be a little quicker.
Yeah. 4099. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
My name is Brent, and I'm in San Antonio.
Brent.
All right.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Calling from the Alamo, huh?
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to say all off season we've been hearing about recruiting. I think Robbie Ashford could be the biggest improvement to our recruiting for next year and to come because of his mobility and the way we use him and the excitement he can bring. And then recruits seeing that, knowing, hey, Harsin knows how to use this motherfucker.
Tell me how you feel, big dog.
Easy, brother. Don't get us canceled now. Yeah, don't get us canceled.
Sorry.
No, yeah. That. I'm usually the one
dropping the ML.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on his potential to affect recruiting.
Hey, recruits love flash. They love flashy. They love bright things.
Yeah.
I don't know that he would affect it too much. But he sure does. He sure does put a good product on the field. At least highlight wise.
Yeah, I'll take this angle to it, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Does he increase our win total? If he increases
There you
our
go.
win total, then absolutely he's going to affect our recruiting, because we all know getting to 8-9 wins is what's going to take this class from being, tail end of the SEC to being in that top 6. Okay.
Bottom half to top half.
Yeah.
Bottom
That's a
half,
good point.
that is the complete difference, is us showing the stability and the upward trajectory of this staff and what they've got going here at Auburn. That's the difference, 100%. And if he can add to that win total, then heck yeah. You know what I mean? He can definitely have an impact on recruiting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely. And then, I think LSU and Penn State, they did not impress me in week 1. So I like our chances a little more.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Hey, Brent, I appreciate you, big dog. I'll also throw in Texas A&M. Wasn't blown away by them.
Yeah, them too.
Let me add this real quick about Penn State. They did come back and win a game against a pretty good opponent in Purdue. They didn't look great doing it, but to have that win, under their belt coming back, I think that was something that could help them moving forward.
I agree. And look, it's hard to put a ton of stock into a week 1 performance. Okay?
It is.
A lot of teams improve week 1 to week 2 and throughout the season. So don't let your eyes deceive you and get fixated on what you saw in week 1 and think that's going to be the same team moving throughout the season. Okay. These teams can improve a lot. And Cole's right. They played a quality opponent in Purdue, a team that whipped Tennessee, who's everybody's preseason darling, in a bowl game last year. Okay. So that's not a bad Purdue football team.
No, not at all.
They'll be battle tested coming into Jordan-Hare. And you know what I mean? Look, let's close the gate, go looking for a fight and see what happens.
Yeah.
Keep us rolling there, Zach.
All right. I appreciate the time.
Hey, I'm sorry, Brent. Appreciate you, big dog.
You're good. All right. Love
you too.
That's good. Good timing.
3365, you're live. We appreciate you waiting. Who's calling? Where are you calling from?
What up, fellas? It's Bo from Moody.
What's up,
Hey,
bro?
Bo. What's up?
Hey, Cam Riley.
Pretty good.
Didn't he have 14 tackles all of last year?
Yes.
I don't even think he had that many.
He did. He had 14. He said that in the locker room with Andy Burcham after the game that he had 14 all year last year. And somebody told him right before he talked to Andy that he had 15 in the game. He goes, "Are you serious?" No way.
Isn't that freaking awesome, man?
Yeah.
A receiver that's looking at us, Adam Hopkins.
Adam Hopkins. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think he's going to be in our class?
Yes.
Yep.
Soon.
I think so.
As of today, 100%.
Yeah. As of today. Yes.
As of today.
I ain't gonna keep y'all long, man. I just want to tell y'all I appreciate everything y'all doing, man, and God bless and more Regal.
Same to you, Bo. We appreciate you, big dog.
God bless, brother. All right.
I love old Bo now.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're talking about loyal, man. He calls in every week.
Excellent. Always bring it.
3977. You hung up right when your turn was up, man.
Oh, 3977.
Have some patience.
5885. You're live. Who's calling? Where are you calling from? 5885. You're live.
5885. That was the year after Auburn's national championship and the year of Bo Jackson's Heisman. That's how you remember phone numbers.
Yeah, we got you. Loud and clear.
Well, good morning. It's Mayhem Matthew here. I was just letting you know that Auburn is dumpster juice, and y'all won't be having a great season. Auburn is terrible. Auburn's trash. Georgia.
We got too many people on the call line for all that.
Oh man, that was so. Hey, what did we say last week about Alabama fans? There's always one, dude.
Yeah.
Always one.
On an
Cannot
Auburn
help
show.
it, dude. Calling an
Yeah.
Auburn show. Love it.
No doubt.
RTR, man. RTR. Hey, I just called in that Auburn show, man.
Yeah,
He was just about to start barking.
3977. You're live.
right out of his double wide to do that too.
3977. You're live.
Oh, I'm live.
We hope so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, listen to the phone, turn down your background or whatever you're watching the show on, and just talk to us through the phone.
I'm Kobe. I'm calling from Jacksonville State University.
Go
What's
Cox.
up, Kobe?
All right.
Hey, Kobe.
Well, I think that question. Do you guys feel like Alabama should be number one?
Alabama should be number one. No.
I feel like coming out to the national championship, Georgia definitely should have clinched number one spot, but that's just me.
Well, after what I saw Saturday, and I'm not saying Alabama didn't do what they're supposed to do. They beat the shit out of 55-0.
Yeah.
Utah State, yeah.
But God, dude, Georgia, head to head right now on a neutral field, I'm taking Georgia,
Yeah, I would.
and that's why I would have them number one.
See, I'd take Bama.
You would take Bama over Georgia,
I would.
I would too.
Zach?
Yo,
Zach!
I would, man. I'm sorry. Look, I think Oregon
you cannot take them over Georgia.
It's all about the quarterback, and it's not even it's not even a discussion between Stetson Bennett and Bryce Young. It's so far between those two that it is not even worth talking about.
Talent wise, yes, I'm
Yes.
with you, Zach. But man, Stetson can play too.
Look, he can also manage my hedge fund. He ain't beating Alabama this year.
Jhead, you coming in hot now?
I'm telling you, it's Alabama, and I am with my man up there. It's really not close, in my opinion. It is really not close. I think Oregon was severely overrated. I think, unfortunately for Dan Lanning and a first-time play caller in Kenny Dillingham, they got exposed to a degree. They were not prepared for that game. And, God bless Kirby for the smack he talked to Dan after the game, saying basically, God bless him, and, thank you for recruiting some of the players that just came to you.
Yeah, he said we have better players. He just said that.
100%.
Bo
So,
Nix really brought Oregon down, though.
do what, brother?
Bo Nix really brought Oregon down, though. You saw what he did at Auburn. There was no way that he could go to a different school in a different conference and think that he could play better.
I don't want to listen, brother. Let's not take shots at Bo here, okay? He's not playing at Auburn anymore. Look, I hope the kid's successful this year. I honestly do. I think that with regard to how he competed against Georgia the other day, he did not play his best game, obviously. I think he would tell you that. And the better team won, and they dominated from start to finish. I have no idea how well they would have played had they put Ty Thompson in the game. I honestly don't. I think it probably would have been a pretty similar result.
I'm going to tell you, I'm an Auburn fan, and looking at him play for the last 3-4 years, it's been the same. And, yeah, me personally, I haven't seen any improvement. Maybe he did improve. Maybe it's something I'm missing. But come on now.
Yeah, I'll say this.
It's Kobe. Who's Kobe for? I mean, who's your number one, Kobe?
My number one.
Yeah, who do you have? You got Georgia or you got Bama?
Yeah, I thought you said Georgia.
Okay.
I got Georgia.
Okay.
Let's do.
Yeah, it's me and Kobe against the world. Jackson State, baby.
Cole was on the side. Yeah, Cole was
I'm with you.
Okay.
I got Georgia as of today. In the words of Jhead, I got Georgia.
Just watch and see what Alabama does to Texas this next week.
It's gonna be the same thing that happened to Oregon this week.
They get stronger as the year goes on. We know this for sure.
That's one of those games. Alabama, Georgia, an Auburn fan just can't lose, right?
No,
you can't win. You can't win, but you can't lose either.
No. But just Sark's going to be asking Daddy Saban to, just please stop.
Oh, I'll give you that. What's the line on that game?
21. It's only 1 point.
Damn.
It was.
See, I bet it would be 31 if it was Texas versus Georgia.
Oh,
I'm just saying,
Oh, brother.
it would be more if it was Georgia.
Also played in Austin, and they're
It
supposed to
is.
give the home team a little bit of a favor.
yeah.
3 points. So it was a 24-point spread.
Quinn Ewers is going to be lucky if he doesn't get that mullet cut after the game. I'm telling you, man.
Jhead. I see you.
Hey, Kobe, we appreciate you calling, man. Hey, if you're up at Ladiga Hills Apartments, I was the first one to live in Unit 2C.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
The man must know that territory.
What was funny is me and my buddy, who was a senior at the time, I was a freshman. He was just finished his baseball. I was starting, and he got me into sports betting. And we had a big weekend, right? We were living in a trailer park, right in the shadows of the stadium. And we hit it big one weekend. We bet money we didn't have.
Oh,
Hit
cool.
it big. Dude, we moved on up to Ladiga Hills the next week, dude. And we couldn't afford rent the rest of the year, but we was in there for a month or two. It was good.
Oh,
I hear
man.
you on that.
It was good. Did we get Kobe?
Yeah.
Kobe, gonna appreciate you, Kobe.
5840. You're live.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up?
This is Go War Eagle. I don't know if y'all remember me.
What's up, Go War Eagle?
I was wanting to know. I was wanting to know if y'all think we have a real chance of getting Quay Russell and James Smith.
Quay Russo and James Smith. Does Auburn have a real chance? A real chance, yes. And this is Keith and I have bounced these two guys. Now, listen, we talked about it earlier in the show. You might have missed it, Go War Eagle, but the visits coming in. Auburn absolutely has a very, and I think Quay especially. And if you get Quay, you get James, or at least I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sold they're going to go to the same school.
I said the same thing last week, brother. I'm
Yeah. I've gone to see him. You know, I go and see him just about every 2 weeks, and we're pretty close, the three of us now. And I always ask him that question. I mean, they are strong on it, but you know, Chad Simmons has done the same. He asks them every time he talks to them, and they always say that. But I mean, I'm with you. It's hard to make those you know, package deals work.
It is. Very rarely do you see it. And I think when push comes to shove, each kid is going to do, and that may be the same school.
Sure, right.
But each kid is going to do what's in their best interest.
I think if they go to Alabama, they'll go together. If they go to Georgia, they'll go together. If Quay Russell wants to come to Auburn, he might do so by himself.
I agree. I agree with that.
And man, all things the same, Go War Eagle. And listen, Keith and I would both tell you this over and over again, dude. We're not going to get anybody's hopes up because we've seen this movie for 20 freaking years.
Yep.
I've seen it.
Yep.
This is part 19.
Yeah.
Saw it last year with Perry, Curtis Perry.
Yeah.
I've seen it. We've all seen it. So you're not going to ask, you know, but when they keep visiting, you know, they got a shot. And if NIL, if On to Victory, Auburn's main collective, steps up the way that I've been told they're going to step up, that won't be an issue.
No. Now, we may not win the recruitment, but it won't be
Right.
the NIL portion.
Right.
And you guys have hit that, you know what I mean, until you blew in the face. There are other factors at play, but you just can't get beat on NIL. NIL is not
Right.
going to make the difference. But you can't get beat on it either.
Well, see, that's the deal. And don't let NIL be the difference. And Auburn's not going to let it be.
Right.
That's now if they choose to go to another school, it's because of this, and this.
Yeah.
It's not because they bought. It's not a business decision as we've seen in the past.
Correct.
So Go War Eagle, that's definitely going to be a fun one. To me, Quay is Auburn's in there. I think, like I said, if they go to Alabama, they go to Alabama. If they go to Georgia, they go to Georgia. If Quay, I just don't get the same vibe from James as I do with Quay. I really believe, Cole, you may know more than me, but every time I talk to Quay, I just get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot more personable.
Into Auburn.
Yeah, he'll give you a little bit more. Quay will.
He's more. I don't know. James is like, oh, I have to do an interview. And trust me, he's a 5-star guy that gets interviewed twice a week. Quay is like, I want to talk about Auburn. James is like, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
And that's no slight to him. Can you imagine getting some people just enjoy it a little bit more. And I'm not saying Quay enjoys it.
I think Quay legitimately really likes Auburn, just in general, because he told me his granddad that passed was a huge Auburn fan.
Yeah.
And that is playing into it. You know, it may not be the decision maker, but it's something that he really considers. And he's like, man, you know, I really grew up loving Auburn because of this. And when he talks about Auburn, you can just tell. You can tell he's got that, you know, affinity to Auburn.
He's genuinely interested.
Yes.
Definitely.
And this is what I will say. And I was going to say it on the show last week when we talked about projecting Keldrick Falk versus Quay Russaw. This is what I think that we have in our favor. I think Quay Russaw actually enjoys the fact he would be the centerpiece of Auburn's recruiting class.
Yeah.
I think
that is different. That's
whereas James is okay with just going into a class with a bunch of other 5-stars. I think Quay actually relishes the idea of being a difference maker at Auburn. I think that is appealing to him. Whether it breaks our way or not, who knows? You know what I mean? We're talking December at the earliest before we're going to know that.
That dude is a stud, man.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, listen.
Man, we got to take another caller.
Okay, real quick on Quay. I asked somebody who knows a lot more than anybody else on this show. Anybody that I know, the most qualified man to answer this question: Who's the most impressive player? It was Quay Russaw, when it's not even close.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Roll us out, Zach. Sorry.
Freak show, and Cole said it over and over again.
Trying to make sure I got the right caller up. 7254. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Clayton from Carrollton, Georgia. How y'all doing?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good.
Hey, what was your name? I'm sorry, I missed you.
Calling. Huh?
What was your name?
Clayton.
Clayton.
Yes, sir.
From where, Clayton?
I was just calling in to see what y'all are thinking about the offensive line recruitment, especially with Bo Hughley. There was a lot of buzz about him maybe flipping from Georgia in the summer, but that's kind of died down. And to me, this recruitment kind of feels like I think it was the Broderick Jones or Morris Mims.
Yeah.
Back a couple years ago with Georgia, and I was just wondering how y'all feel about that.
I think that's a Jhead, you can back me up here. I think it's a fantastic comparison. He's comparing Bo Hughley to Amarius Mims, but most recently Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
And I think Bo's is playing out a little bit earlier than those two guys, where those two were more late in the cycle. But Bo's, I think, has been exposed, and I think that's the right word, for being full of shit sometimes.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
I think that's a very fair statement. And look, I'm not trying to.
And I love Bo. I do. He's awesome to me.
He's a good kid. But, you know, is he telling both staffs what they want to hear? Yeah, I 100% believe that. And I do not trust what's being communicated. I think the kid, his heart's at Georgia. He just wants to enjoy the recruiting aspect of it. And if I were Auburn, I wouldn't entertain it. I honestly wouldn't. I know he's a phenomenal talent, and you do not give up on guys like that. You don't. But that's why I'm not in the recruiting office right now, guys. There's a reason that I'm sitting here talking about it and not doing something else. You know, you got to have a lot of gumption. You got to be able to ride certain things out, and you do not give up on kids like this because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But do I think he's a kid that enjoys the recruiting process? Very much so. And I think he's a kid that tells a lot of people what they want to hear.
And I think he does have good relationships with guys on staff at Auburn, as well as guys on staff at Georgia. But he said it himself in an interview with Chad Simmons, I believe it was. You know, relationships. You know, I mean, they're all going to treat me the same. Everybody treats me like I'm a priority recruit. Everybody does. So why would I go somewhere for that? He said that himself. You know, And I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what he said.
I'm not ready to give up on him, but I'm almost to the point of, I don't even want to know what he's got to say. I'm not even going to bother him with an interview because it's tough to decipher what's genuine. So it's almost like holler at me December 19th. And if Auburn's still in it, then I'll take another look. But until then, I'm just going to assume that he's locked in with Georgia and just playing and having a good time with Auburn. It'd be different if Aaron Nolan was committed to Auburn.
Yes.
If Joshua Horton was committed to Auburn and Terrence Love continues to be committed to Auburn, then I'm going to be all in. And Jelani Thurman is kind of uncommitted right now. It's a different story.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. So I'm going to believe it when I see it. I'm Missouri.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Eli Drinkwitz. I'm Eli Drinkwitz.
My second question was, I was one. Y'all keep mentioning a 3-star kid that y'all think is getting close to committing, and I was just wondering, besides him, was there anybody else that y'all think Auburn has a really good chance with? But besides that, I just want to thank y'all for taking my call, and y'all have a good night.
Appreciate you, Clayton. Good stuff, man. Janoris Wilson's the 3-star offensive tackle, and you probably asked 5 guys, and 3 of them will tell you he should be a 4-star. This kid's really good. At least that's how they feel. I think he's talking about offensive line.
He is.
Cole?
Yeah. A name that came to my mind, and I went to see him last week, was Tyler Scott. That's a guy that I think if they start to push for him, they could really get him. DB from
Tyler Scott. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about offensive line.
Oh, it was. He was talking about it on the offensive line. Who else could we get?
Okay.
And I'll give you a name. And you also saw him last week, and I've heard there's some buzz there. DJ Chester.
Oh yeah, DJ Chester.
I don't think that's one. That's one I wrote off a little earlier than I should have. I think that's a recruitment that we're in.
Yep.
We get him back on campus. I want to hear what you and Jay Lee got to say. I think we can make some noise there, guys. From what I hear.
You talking about poaching?
Yeah.
Schools welcome, opening the door for poaching. LSU. You got Darren Reed. You've got DJ Chester, who presumably was leaning towards LSU. Woo. So definitely DJ Chester would be one of the guys high on my hot board list. I think tomorrow. What's today? Tuesday. Yes.
Yeah, and I saw him last week. Man, he's a very intelligent guy. He really thinks about what he's telling you. He really thinks about it before he answers you. Like there's a pause, and he's thinking it, and he gives it to you. And just talking to him off record, I think there was some buzz about LSU, and I think that was legitimate. I think he likes LSU. I think he likes Auburn. I think he likes Ole Miss. I think he likes Michigan. He's not ready, is what I'm trying to say.
No,
he's going to let it go for a while because he's taking it step by step. Which is a good way to do it, in my opinion. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it, but that is a good way to approach, when you're being recruited, when you're being pulled in so many different ways.
No, he's not going to make a knee jerk.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, before we go to the next call, Zach. DJ Chester, when Auburn first got on him, was a nobody.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Zach, 98.55.
Yeah, but first, we got over 250 people watching, only 60 likes. Hit the like button. Listen, just hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I know we don't have 190 Mayhem Matthew watching.
I hope not. If we do, that's not great for the stream.
Yeah, tell him to kiss his sister.
Yeah,
leave us alone.
9855. You're live. Who's calling?
Hey,
and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Lando from 256 Huntsville, Alabama.
What's up, Lando?
Right.
What's up, guys? I'm just wanting to, I'm a big fan of the Tigers. Watch them. Know the guy on y'all stream. Well, I don't know him personally, but Justin Hopkins, and I love his insight.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish he was on here now. He's not.
Thursday.
But I honestly, my thought is that during and after the Penn State game, Robbie Asher is going to be named the starting quarterback, is my personal opinion. I mean, there was a lot of hype for TJ before. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say a lot of hype, but, he was given the starter position. Obviously, we're not going to make any changes right now. He's earned that, and we believe
in him, but those 2 interceptions are concerning because they kind of were dirty. I mean, not dirty, it's just nasty. You know, it's not what you want to see in the first thing.
Inexcusable. Unacceptable.
Exactly. It really is. You know, and it's after that second pick, obviously, we saw Ashford come in and he made the 2 biggest plays, you know, of the game, yardage wise, you know, running in the first quarter and then making that completion, which looked beautiful. I really think I don't think he'll be named the starter, but I really think that he takes control of this offense after a year while. And then Calzada, he's the X factor, in my opinion. I mean, I really think that we will see him sometime this season. I think that he proves that he has a good arm. I know that there's injuries and things that have happened, but I just don't want him to go. No
I hear you.
does. But what do you think?
I think I don't know if you were listening earlier in the show, but I think Jhead hit it on the head talking about Ashford when he said, okay, Ashford has not played a snap until this Mercer game. That was his first college snap. First time you get to watch him in a college game on film. So next opponent, San Jose State, they got film to go by. They know how they want to use him. They got things of that nature. How does he respond when they scheme up for him a little bit? That's what I want to see. And I don't think until you see how he responds to that, I don't think there's going to be any change in the quarterback rotation. Maybe he gets 2 or 3 more snaps than he did last week, Ashford, but I don't think anything changes in regards to Finley being the starter until that happens.
Right. And I will add one other thing to that, Cole. I do believe TJ's at a tipping point right now. You know what I mean? Because if he continues to go out and make mistakes, I think it's going to force the coaching staff's hand in the direction of how they're going to have to treat things.
Yeah.
I do not believe that he can continue to throw interceptions. But give him the opportunity this week before we bury him. Let's give him the opportunity to go out this week and see if he can execute the offense at even a higher and more efficient clip. If he does, then potentially you're looking at this in a much different light going into the Penn State game. Yeah. And now we've really put Penn State in a bind because they don't truly know how to prepare because you've got 2 guys behind center that you know can go out and be efficient and can get the job done. So not ready to bury TJ at this point. I think the decisions that he made were bad, but they can be corrected. It was a situation. One of them was poor mechanics. One of them was just a terrible, terrible decision where he just truly did not see that backside corner sliding in. So
yeah,
not out on TJ.
About Calzada, though?
I'm out on Calzada right now. I think he's a distant third at this point, and I think if he were truly an option, you would have seen him play against Mercer.
Yeah,
I think he's probably too far back in the playbook right now. We'll see. Obviously, if something severely goes bad with TJ or with Robbie, I guess there's an opportunity there. But I believe there's a reason he's number 3 on the depth chart. And you got to probably trust what the coaching staff is telling you right now. You needed to trust the boat option last year at quarterback.
One last thought. You know, what I had read earlier. Do you think that they're wanting to keep Calzada on just in case something happens? Or do you think they truly have a game plan for him to get it in at some point this season?
Caveat here. Remember, transfer portal windows are now in effect. He can't just jump in the portal and leave the team. So if he decides he wants to quit, he's going nowhere, brother. You know what I mean? He's just sitting on the sideline getting rusty. So it would be advantageous for him to ride at the end of the season.
Okay. Man, that helps a lot. I'm just curious, you know, following on the inside information. And y'all are great, and I really appreciate y'all reaching out. Or I actually reached out. You didn't reach out. But I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Lando. Sure do, man. Oh, Tom Cosby says if Jordan
on the hot seat.
Yeah, man, they're gonna cut my spot on the show here.
Jhead gonna show up next week with State of Auburn T-shirt on.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you. Now, listen, my options were between Georgia and Alabama for who's number one, brother. So come on now, 50-50.
Again, you can't win and you can't lose.
No. I mean, do you like it any better if I'd have said Georgia had been number one?
Now, Jayla, you were talking about LSU kind of in turmoil helping Auburn. I don't know if you saw while we were live, the media got on Brian Kelly really hard in his first press conference.
Did you see
I don't know
what
if you
they
guys
said?
remember. Yeah. They said if you start winning, maybe we'll be on time.
They were late to showing up. He walked in and was like, hey, he was kind of joking around. Everybody's going to put in $10 from now on if you're late, and we'll have a big shindig at my house. And somebody in the back goes, maybe if you start winning, we'd show up on time.
Whatever.
He's like, no, I don't think it had anything to do with winning. It's about showing up on time. Har.
Corn dog reporter.
Yeah.
Brother. You guys
Wow.
love him, man.
Can you imagine somebody at Harson's pressing on? Yeah, if we start winning, maybe we show up on time.
Bro, he would literally, karate kick Phillip in the chest if that were to happen. You know what I mean?
After that Instagram picture, I don't think anyone would try it.
No.
No. Lord, no.
Oh, hold on. That looks awful.
No. Roll it on up, Jay Lee. Roll it on up.
0506. Jump in here and save the show.
Please.
Who's calling in? Where are you calling from?
Well, it's so Hogbone over here, man.
Hogbone!
My
All
man
right.
had to call in.
Boy. Hey, listen here. I've seen these scatters, the scatters, the receivers for a number of years now. I'm a little bit old, y'all. It's kind of hard to change that, but I've seen a couple of them change it. But that's kind of hard. That's a hard habit to break from Wayne, but I hope he can.
Yeah.
Best of luck with TJ. But I wanted to ask you a little bit here, Jeff and Lee, about on the victory.
Yeah.
Now, how can a fella get a hold of that and put his, $1 and something a day? That's a Coca-Cola, ain't it?
It sure is. Hell, it's cheaper than the Coca-Cola, man. Them Coca-Cola's at $1.79 everywhere you go. What they're doing, Hogbone, is they're filling out they're filling out the fan base, man. They want to have something in place by the time Penn State rolls around. You saw some advertising being done in game the other day, but Brett Whiteside, the executive director of On to Victory, Beth Burkett working right there with him, man. They're doing a fantastic job. I've heard really good things from the athletics department from on down about what these guys are doing with On to Victory. And what they want to do is they want to be able to involve everybody, not just the big time donors. They want everybody to be able to contribute. And so what they had asked last week on the corner of the message board was, would a $34 a month low tier, I mean, would people be interested in contributing $34 a month, which is basically $1 a day, except in February?
Correct.
And so the response was basically 2 out of 3. Two out of every 3 said yes. So 66% of the people that participated in that poll said $34 a month was good. So Hogbone, if you need, but that was, they want to have that option to roll when Penn State weekends. They want to make a big push for that Penn State weekend.
And think how great that would be for continuous revenue if you could have microtransaction purchases. If you get 20,000 people at $34 a month, what does that do for your revenue base?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, and they made a tag too.
They what?
When they add that little bit in.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, Hogbone.
Come back, Hogbone. I think you said they made a tag.
I'm in a little trouble of what it is. Let me walk over here. I think you get a tag too, so we can add that little bit in the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Add that in the pot.
Yeah. Those car tags and everything else, our beloved university.
There you go. $1 a day, Hogbone. It'll make a big difference.
Y'all having a good.
All right, Hogbone. We appreciate your call, big dog.
All right.
Appreciate your call, big dog. And I encourage everybody to look up On the Victory. That's going to be me. I'm telling you, Bruce Pearl, but Butch Thompson, Brian Harson, all those cats, man. This is important for Auburn athletics moving forward.
100%.
2622. You're live. Who's calling in? Where are you calling from?
This is the coach from Phoenix City, Alabama.
What's up, Coach?
What's up?
Patrick Nix, welcome to the show.
No, but I know Patrick well.
Oh, well, I was kidding.
What can we do for you?
Guys, I do have a question about some of our kids at Central.
Sure.
What do you think the interest is for TJ Parker? Are we pushing for him any since he decommitted from Penn State?
Negative. Unless you know something I don't, Jhead. You look a little surprised at my answer there.
No, I think as of right now that they're letting that lie a little bit, and they're going to see what TJ's interest level is. Will he communicate with Auburn? If he does, that may open the door some. But as of right now, I think that recruitment is pretty well closed on our end as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see how that goes. You know, if the kid were to initiate interest and let our coaching staff know that he wants to still be recruited by Auburn, I think that could open the door there. But as of right now, I don't see that breaking our way or us being overly involved, not from what I understand anyway.
I completely agree. I do not see Auburn. I bet you if I was to talk to him, he hadn't heard from Auburn in a while.
Yeah, it just seems like one of those that you has gone totally different direction, moved on, and you know.
And that's not a knock on TJ. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, he's a great player. There's a lot of really good players, and I think Auburn and him are just both looking for a good fit for them. If I had to, if I'm just thinking it on here.
Okay, I have a question about Jhead Wiley. Have y'all assessed him? What are your thoughts about Jhead Wiley as a prospect?
He is. Where'd my other shoe go? I have not watched him. I have interviewed him. Who's the Coleman kid?
Jaden
Coleman. Cameron Coleman. Yes.
Oh, yeah, Cameron Coleman.
That dude's a stud, isn't he? Not, Coach?
Oh yeah, he is, but he's not coming out this year.
Right, he's 2024.
Another year.
Are you saying the Jhead Wiley is
out for catfish dinner?
Oh, is Jhead Wiley 2023? Is he a senior?
Yeah.
He's a senior. All right, that's not who I was thinking of.
He's in the Air Force right now.
Oh, well, how's he doing? Because I'm vaguely familiar with him.
Well, I was going to say I haven't seen you guys on a Friday night, but he's looking really, really good.
Well, y'all are coming to Opelika Friday night, are you not?
Story kid from Florida.
Yeah, don't y'all come to Opelika Friday night?
Yes, we do.
Hey, well, let me ask you this, Coach. How's Carmelo looking?
Carmelo's looking really good. Of course, that teams are trying to bracket him, cut down his receptions, and we've been spreading the ball around really well because we got three really great receivers. So it's really tough to defend us.
So you got Jhead, you got Carmelo, you got Caden.
Got Cam Coleman.
I mean, yeah, Cam, not Jaden. Cole, that's your fault. Yeah, Camden Coleman. Camden.
And when you have
Cameron,
Cameron, it's pretty difficult for a team to match up.
And is Bo's little brother quarterbacking?
No, Caleb graduated. I think he signed.
He moved on.
Yeah, Caleb's playing safety at Clemson.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, he walked on.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I saw him. He came to our first game and chatted with him, and he's looking really good.
And he had committed to Troy to play quarterback, correct? And then he decided against doing that and ended up, I believe, when Chip Lindsey got fired, I believe he decided to walk on at Clemson and play safety.
When Chip was at Troy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chip got fired?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Summerall's the coach.
Well, Coach, I'm gonna tell you, if I can get back in town in time Friday, I'm gonna come over to that Opelika game. I want to see these guys in person.
Well, if I see, I'll come up and speak, and we'll have a chat because I have some information I would like to give you off the air.
I'll be there.
All right.
Hey, appreciate you, Coach.
War Eagle.
Yes, sir.
War Eagle, Coach.
All right, how we doing, Zach? You want to These are last three. If we got
right here, last caller, and then if you guys have time, we can do just a
We'll
real quick lightning round.
Let's do it.
6636. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Mamadou from the great state of Indiana.
Mamadou.
All right.
Hey guys, I just hopped in on late and wanted to just kind of pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, I think some comment on Robbie. How much of that is playing against Mercer, right? Like, I think part of me wants to see him do that against a Division I Power 5 defense.
Sure.
And as far as that goes, I mean, I guess I just keep going back to it. You know, watching TJ, clearly, if Zach is that much farther behind, you know, I think we have to turn the page on him for now. But, you know, I guess I'd be curious to get y'all's take on, you know, assessing the performance of Robbie in the context of Mercer and similarly kind of San Jose State. Kind of hard to take away what that's going to be against Penn State and the SEC. But anyway, appreciate y'all. And
all right, Mamadou. Hey, thanks so much, Mamadou. We appreciate it, man. It's a good call for the last call. And I will say that it's got some merit. The question is justified.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Does SEC speed cut Robbie off from getting the corner the other day? Is he able to have that much success? It's kind of, man. What do you think, Jhead? Cole, y'all jump in here. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
No, you're good, man. I think it's obviously a very valid question. And what you're going to want to see, like me and Cole already talked about, is that adjustment. So now that there's tape on Robbie and how he performed as far as that's concerned, really it's going to be his reaction to how they scheme him moving forward.
Yeah.
I think what you can take away from that is the physical attributes of his speed and his ability to hit the corner as far as that's concerned in the running game, and that the mobility there is live. Where Mercer might not have SEC caliber athletes on the perimeter, they've still got good athletes. And that was a situation where he broke a 50-yard run. I don't know if anybody else playing that, even if they were SEC, if we block it the same way we did, that he can't rip that off all the same. You know what I mean? Now, do you really get carried away? No, you don't. It was an incomplete performance from the standpoint of he wasn't the quarterback the entire game. He was limited in what he was being asked to do in certain facets of the game. Does he have the full playbook available to him and everything else? I think that's why TJ is still a very pivotal part of this offense. And look, I do think people are jumping on the small sample size of TJ from this season and automatically wanting to move him to the bench in favor of Robbie. I do think we need to press pause on that. Mm-hmm. This is a situation where TJ Finley is the starter. Coach Harsin came out and declared him as the starter today. I think they're going to continue to get Robbie meaningful reps against opponents. And it's kind of a progression here where you're going to see him continue to get snaps against teams until they know exactly what they have on their hand. And unless TJ forces their hand and compromises them and puts them in a situation where you just can't put him out there because he's hurting you more than he's helping you, then there's no point in turning the page and immediately throwing Robbie out there and declaring him the outright starter at this point. But can he be a contributor in the SEC? Absolutely. I think he showed you that he can create some explosion. But I do think people need to pump the brakes on, hey, we need to move to Robbie right now. He needs to be the guy. Yeah. He's not ready for all of that.
Well, I am certainly not saying that he needs to be the guy, and want to make that clear. I don't think he needs to be the guy yet. I think there's a lot to go before he, deserves that right. But here's what I will say. He has raised my eyebrow more for one reason and one reason only. He completed a deep ball, okay? And the reason I bring that up again, I sound like a broken record on this. Last year, I don't care if it was TJ Finley. I don't care if it was Bo Nix. They weren't hitting them on air, guys. Routes on air, they weren't hitting deep balls, okay? To have somebody come in and hit a deep ball, hit a, 35, 40-plus yard ball in the air on the money, that is raising my eyebrow a little bit. That's the only thing I can say about it. I don't think he needs to be the starter today. I think there's a lot that has to take place, but that having one shot at it and making it happen, that was a big deal to me.
I agree. And I think one play in particular probably it told me that more than anything. You remember the past, I think it was Jarquez or it was Damari out in the flat where he just completely hummed it at the kid as opposed to putting a little touch on it.
Yeah.
That's part of learning to play quarterback where Robbie's going to have to dial it back a bit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what a meaningful game rep does for him. That's letting him understand in real time, I cannot, try to force it like this, or that's a pick against Georgia, Alabama, LSU, somebody of that caliber.
Right.
Hey, this is a good question, Braden, because when I said it the other day, on the phone or on the inside the 20 with Keith, I thought, man, that probably didn't come off right. It probably didn't sound good. It wasn't like I was saying that they're lazy or anything. I think what I was talking about. Come here. As I finish, hey, have y'all heard about Jessica Andrews, EXP Realty?
I have, and she looks even better in person than she does
even better in person. Yeah. Come on back in here.
She's been at football practice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Give her a call. 334-7. What is it?
704.
704-4442. She always working, man. She'll work around. So what got me to that was almost like the coaches that don't hear from Auburn as much as they would think. Like, and maybe that's just how this staff does. But even like Jairus McIntyre, RDT down in Tampa Catholic, I think they were expecting more communication with this staff, and that was something that was kind of what I was talking about. It's not like they're burning the phones and stuff every day, all day. We know this staff is all about some ball and recruiting. You've got your recruiters, you've got your ball coaches on here. So I wasn't saying like they're lazy or anything. It was just some of the off the record stuff was not hearing as much as you thought would. Indirect recruiting, not direct recruiting, but indirect recruiting. That was the best way I could put it. Oh, BK, should we be concerned when we didn't spread the ball around more? Thought we'd see more guys. You know what? I'm with Cole. No, but I'm a little partial to Camden.
Wanted to see you get a
Throw
touchdown.
in the bone, dude.
What I would say is we only had 62 offensive snaps in that game. That wasn't like we got a ton of snaps. Okay.
Yeah.
And I thought Mercer did a good job of probably running out the clock in some spots and speeding things up to a degree. So probably this week against San Jose State, you might see Camden Brown get that deep fade down the sideline, and we see what he does with it. Okay.
Last year I would have said, yes, you need to spread around more because there was a lot of drops with the guys that were the starters. I didn't see many drops. I thought guys were getting open. So if that's the case, no, keep throwing it to the same guys.
Hey, the only drop I can remember was Mr. Surehand Shanker, right?
Yeah.
Oh, was that not a beautiful pass down the sideline there too? And just
Surehand just sure missed it. But other than that, let's think back to a year ago at this time. I mean, the wide receivers coach was about to get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get fired 2 games from now.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And after that first game, you've got and listen, I love Corn. I ain't on dog him personally, but there were problems with those receiver core last year. And Eric Keesall took over, and now you've got Ike, who looks to have this guy. The wide receivers didn't miss a ball or didn't drop a ball.
Dude, he's got full command of that room. I mean, complete and utter command. Those kids don't question what he's telling them; they just do it.
Yep.
I really like the wide receiver room. Alex Brown wants to know: is there any offensive line recruits on the horizon? Janoris Wilson, DJ Chester. We talked about them earlier. We think those are the 2 most likely right now. I think there's going to be some more guys popping up. I know Auburn wants to see guys like more. Of course, Clay Whedon is still on the board.
Yep.
There was, drawing a blank here. We'll hit it. Hey, and listen, we forget about this guy and good, but old McElderry.
Oh yeah,
I know he's committed to Alabama, but it could be if Alabama decides that they got somebody better. And here's another thing about McElderry. How do you pronounce Bama's former quarterback, Greg
McElroy or McElroy or whatever.
Exactly. Is it McElroy? Because if it is, it's McElderry.
This is
Or
true.
is it McElderry and McElroy? Y'all see old McElroy say?
Yeah, oh yeah. I know,
my God! I was watching with my dad, and he goes, "The first play, I'd let them score." I was like, "You don't let them score."
No.
He's like, yeah, you get the ball down 31-17 with 2 minutes left. I'm like, "You're down 2 touchdowns with 2 minutes left." Yeah, and I was like, "You play for the fumble. You play for a mistake." And sure enough, they fumbled the ball, went 99 yards. Whether they should have went for 2 or not, I could make a case either way. We're talking about LSU.
Boy, you really – and you threw that out there before that fumble, Jeffrey, on Twitter, I think.
Good.
Gosh, what great timing by you.
I had flashbacks.
By you. Even you.
I'm going to date myself, but I had flashbacks of Ed Sissom dropping that fumble in the iron all that time. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. You open the doors, let them score.
That I'm interested in, that I'm tracking. Ethan McKinney, currently committed to Georgia Tech. Watch that one.
And that reminds me of Sean Tompkins, the Baylor commit.
Yeah, there you go. That's who I was trying to think of, Sean Tompkins.
Sean Tompkins and Ethan McKinney. Those are 2 that I'm absolutely watching.
Hey, and he wanted to know about Will Friend. If Harson's still here, does Will Friend? I don't see why not. I don't have any reason to believe he does it.
Right. No reason to believe that Will Friend's going anywhere as of today. You know,
as of today, right?
Yeah.
And I really like Joe Bernardi sitting there in the wings waiting for his shot. I think Joe Bernardi's gonna be a fantastic offensive line, not only coach but an offensive line recruiting coach. So I think I like the combo of both of those guys right now. I like Will Friend in the room, and I like Bernardi in the living room.
There you go.
Yep. TJ wants to know what y'all's opinions on the other Oregon transfers for the Mercer game. Jason Jones, DJ James. Real quick.
I thought Jones played really well against the run. I didn't see as much of DJ as I would have liked.
I agree. When he was in there, I think he covered well on 2 snaps that I saw. But, yeah, I want to see more of him.
We're in our lightning rounds. Thomas wants to know again, TJ, do you think that Auburn should not have ran that play with TJ and Robbie in that same, even though it was successful? The jet sweep option, I'm assuming, is what he's talking about. And I'm like, oh, well, they showed that for a reason. They didn't need to show that. They showed that for a reason.
Correct.
All right. They
You
know
got to
what to
account
do.
for a pitch guy on the jet sweep now, and you show the jet sweep maybe 4 or 5 times a game. Yeah, that's going to cause a problem and steal some practice time.
JP, you think we will see Holden Gurner in? I don't.
No.
Mm-mm.
Complete red shirt.
Wesser, when recruiters visiting a school that's playing against a school they're committed to being recruited, are there rules about that school? They can't talk to another kid on the.
They can't say anything.
And I will say, Auburn's going to try to limit that. There will be some crossover there with if Brett Norfleet wants to come watch Missouri or something like that. But Alex Sanford, we saw him move his from Arkansas to Missouri.
Dakari Nelson told me he was definitely going to be at that Auburn Penn State game. He's committed to State.
Yeah.
So,
Braden Hawk, do you see a sense of urgency in Harsin staff with recruiting offensive linemen? I mean, I don't think there was never not, right?
No, yeah, there's been urgency.
Absolutely, Braden. Yes. Oh, Dane, missed some of the early show. Anything positive about Adam Hopkins? Yeah, Adam Hopkins, the 4-star wide receiver from Thomas County Central, is coming in for an official visit this weekend, and we all feel fairly certain. I think Jhead even said, as of today, 100%, he'll be in this class. I expect him to commit.
Put your sunglasses on. That one's bright, fellas.
But yeah. Jay Chain, how do you get a coach to notice someone who's currently on anyone's board? How do we get a coach to notice someone who isn't on anyone's board? Watch the senior run for 396 and 6 last Friday night. Fastest kid on the field. You know what I would say? Go to auburntigers.com, and on those coaching bios, there are direct emails to these coaches. I would start with a Stephen Ruzick, a Darren Usher, and put the ball in their court.
Drew Fabianich.
Drew Fabianich.
Or
if you need the names pronounced, Jhead, you just let me know.
Oh, yeah, I will, brother.
Oh, Rocky Deal wants one of my own 3 hats, big dog. Yeah.
There you go. Get that at the merch store, guys.
Yeah. Hey, Rocky, if you'll go on Auburn Live on 3, because I know you're a subscriber, direct message me. direct message me. I'll hook you up, big dog. Oh, Clayton Kennedy wants to know, has Auburn complete? Yeah.
Man,
definitely.
He's done. He's done. Brighter redneck ideas. Well, it's better than the darker ones. What about the O-line committed to Michigan State from Thompson? Oh, Stanton Ramil. Boy, what a weird recruitment that was.
My gut feeling is that one's over.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Jhead, unless you know something I don't.
No, I mean, I think it's unless, Mel Tucker takes a job elsewhere, I think that one's done.
Yeah.
But Michigan State's going to be after Auburn's after Michigan State, Penn State, Florida State. Those schools, man, they're going to have to do a lot to keep it on. Baby, we're about to holler back at you right here. Oh, she's over there working. She's closing deals over there.
Getting after it.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, if you need a house sold or if you're looking for a house in Auburn, Opelika area, call Jessica Andrews, eXp Realty, 334-704-4442. And I might throw in a shirt or something.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, she got some shirts coming, man. We're gonna hook you all up. Yeah, make sure you tell them the Auburn Live sent you to her. And I promise you will not be disappointed. All right. We did good. Great show, Phil. Hey, man, we had a great call lineup today. We had great questions. I don't even know how many. I think we had 15 different callers. And I apologize. Stats don't matter. Let us off. Tyler was in there. JP, Cleveland Brown, and then the calls came with Bryce from Beulah was awesome. Eli from Anniston, LG from Nashville, Jedi, Brent from down in the Alamo, Bo from Moody. You know how Kobe from JSU, Go War Eagle, Clayton, War Eagle Stables came in with the. I think he had the answer for the offensive tackle.
He did.
Oh yeah,
you have already forgotten.
Jonah Williams.
Williams.
And then Lando Hogbone, the coach from PC. Coach from PC, you hit me up. Find me on Auburn Live on 3 and send me a direct message. Let's get in contact, or Twitter, whichever one you prefer. And Mama do close us out. And also, thank you, Zach. Man, listen, these shows on YouTube are on our YouTube channel. We've got shows every day. We've got Inside the 20 on Mondays and Wednesdays. We got the call-in show on Tuesday nights. We got the modcast on Thursday. We got the recruiting show on Friday morning. We got show, and then of course you got all the interviews. And Brooks is modeling on 3 hats.
There you go.
So lean down here.
All right,
good, man.
On 3
that
hats.
looks good.
On 3 hats. So we got shows coming out. We got hot boards coming out this week. We got visitors coming in. Commitments on the horizon. Lots going on at Auburn Live on 3. If you're not a member of that site, please look us up. Give us a chance. It's free for a week. You will not be disappointed. Auburn Live on 3. Great show, fellas. Great insight. Great questions from the fans. Great comments from the fans. A lot of help. A lot of information. We appreciate everybody, man. Y'all look for us tomorrow morning on Inside the 20 with me and Keith. Otherwise, we'll see you. Us 3 will see you Friday on the recruiting show around mid-morning. Mm-hmm. Hey, we appreciate it. Zach in the back, we appreciate you, big dog. So for Zach, for Cole, for Jhead, I'm Jeffrey Lee. Appreciate everybody. Stay out of the left lane. See ya.